It seems like you're taking this fight in stride. I mean, it was a big opportunity. Obviously, it's something that you've talked about a little bit. But how do you feel now that it's all over?
I really, leading up to the fight, I didn't feel the pressure of being in the UFC and things like that. Honestly, I woke up today and it was a shit ton of pressure on me, to be honest with you. And it wasn't necessarily the UFC. It was really just fight pressure. I know it was a big opportunity ahead of me. Excuse me. It was a big opportunity ahead of me, with the win. And I felt just pressure that I hadn't felt in a long time, probably since my first fight. Thank you. I don't know, but the experience overall was amazing. I wouldn't change it. It's a learning experience, obviously. Going into the fight, I had planned on getting back into MMA, doing about 2 to 3 fights a year as it was. Just so happens my debut was in the UFC. So from here, I just go back to the drawing board, and I'll have a full camp. This one I take, I want to say like three weeks notice for a fight. Next time I'll have a full camp, and I'll, come back and get this W and get the knockout that I deserve.
Were you surprised with the strike that he hit you with that dropped you? I mean, did it hurt you, or was it more off balance, or what was it?
It was more off balance. I mean, it landed obviously, but it was more of a slip. That was the first time I had been on that. The texture of the canvas, and it was a little slippery. I'm used to more, I don't know, like the vinyl canvases and things like that. Or if I'm boxing, I have boxing boots on. So that it was a little different. And I felt my heel like hit some of, I think, one of the corner pads or something like that. And it just landed a good shot. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't hurt at all. Again, he just caught me off balance with the shot, went down, and he did what he was supposed to do. None of the shots, I think he threw maybe like 2 or 3 shots on the ground. None of those landed, so it wasn't like I was hurt or anything like that. But look, he's a submission guy. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu for a reason, and he did what he was supposed to do.
Is the nerves going into a boxing ring the same as going into an octagon?
No, not at all. For me, I pride myself on my striking and my defense. I fought up weight classes, and the nerves for that, it's completely different. Now I have to focus, especially in this fight. I'm having to focus on someone whose his goal is to get me down on the ground. It just so happens he caught me with a punch that caught me off balance, and that would put me on the ground. But as far as nerves, it's completely different. In a boxing ring, I can face someone bigger than me, larger than me, and the nerves aren't there like they were for MMA. I haven't competed MMA since 2012, so almost not quite 4 years, 3 years, and I haven't felt those nerves in quite a while. But like I said, I plan on getting back in there, and this was a great experience. I don't think anything really will top this as far as nerves go, because this is the biggest stage, So at that, I go back to a smaller show or whatever, it won't be the same. And I'll work my way back up. Will I be back here? Who knows? Again, this wasn't a goal of mine. It was a great opportunity that presented itself, and I jumped on it. So I'm just gonna get back in the gym. I never really take breaks anyway. So get back in the gym and do my thing.
Has this changed the goal? This wasn't the goal, and it's obviously your pro debut, and it maybe wasn't something that was on your mind to have that first MMA fight. Does this change it? Has this experience sort of shifted the avenue you want to take and where you want to go with things, or is it just another wrinkle?
No, it's just another wrinkle. Look, this is the pinnacle of MMA. I know that with the skill sets that I possess, I saw some talented fighters out here tonight, and I'm realistic about what I'm able to do. I'll compete at a lower level for MMA, and then the real goal of mine is to be a world champion in boxing. And that is a very much foreseeable goal. And look, when I say I have knockout power in both hands, I mean it. And my defense is solid. I hate to bring Mayweather in here, but I have more of a James Toney style. Not fat James Toney, skinny, not fat James Toney. I have more of a skinny James Toney style of boxing with the shoulder rolls and things like that. My coach was yelling, like, man, I bet not seen no fucking shoulder roll. And I was like, all right, I won't give him a shoulder roll tonight. So yeah, the ultimate goal is to be a world champion in boxing, and that's very much plausible goal to have.
Hang out on this side with us every once in a
I'm
while.
gonna be hanging out on y'all's
Yeah,
side.
that's
You know, I talked to Dana earlier this evening, and y'all gonna be seeing a lot more of me on y'all's side.
Now-
So right now, are you credentialed media for this event?
I'm a credential media.
Now you gotta go. Now you gotta go to work for
So now that you're
MikeTheTruth.com.
credentialed media at the post presser, what questions will you have for Mickey Gall?
I don't know. And then Mickey, actually, when we were in the cage, he was like, "Sir, I'm gonna get this interview, right?" And I was like, "I got you, Mickey." I know he's staying. We were all at the same hotel. I already told him I'm gonna hit him up, and I mean, this is a great opportunity for him. He's facing CM Punk now, and look, he's about to destroy Punk, and y'all can quote me on that one. I don't see Punk having anything for the kid. His striking didn't necessarily surprise me. I mean, I was aware of what he was able to do. I just felt mine was a little bit better. Again, he just caught me with a good shot, and I went down from it. But as far as CM Punk, look, man, this guy can train for 2-3 years with Duke Rufus. You just can't develop the skill sets that you need in that short period of time. He doesn't have any type of fighting background. It wasn't like James Toney coming in here with a boxing background or Brock Lesnar coming in with a wrestling background. The kid has nothing. The only thing he has really on his side is the experience to fight in front of thousands of fans, live. And that is a real thing. That is a real variable when it comes to fighting that a lot of people don't know starting, coming up through the ranks, that's a lot of pressure, But that's the only thing that he has on his side. As far as skills, I got some little birds chirping to me. He's not ready. He's not ready for this, and he's gonna find out. And again, he really lucked out, to be honest with you. He lucked out with Mickey Gall, because Mickey Gall's gonna go in there. He's gonna take him down. And he's gonna submit him. That's really what's gonna happen. Now, unless Mickey Gall decides he wants to stand with him, which I mean, why? Just go in here and make this money real quick, But for me, I was going in there to knock him out, and I know wholeheartedly. CM Punk would have been a much easier fight for me than Mickey Gall. He's a lot smaller than I thought he was, too. He came in the back and, introduced himself or whatever. I just kind of sized him up a little bit, and I was like, man, you dodged a bullet here, man. But, it is what it is. But Mickey Gall is going to take that, and hopefully he decides to hang it up, because he doesn't belong in the UFC. If he would have started this a little differently and maybe worked his way up at I think he's like at a Milwaukee or wherever he's training out right now. If he would have started more on the local level, get some fights under his belt, and then jumped into the UFC, that would have been one thing. But, his name recognition alone got him into the UFC, and he's going to see that this is not where he belongs.
Can you walk the average person through when you go from straight up boxing, you can turn your shoulder a little bit. Now when you come into MMA, you got to square up a bit. Was it hard for you to develop those habits that you instilled after years and years and years of training? And did you ever fall back into those? I'm not going to say they're bad habits, they're good habits for boxing because you can shoulder roll, you can move. Was it difficult for you at all to do both?
No, I've actually developed a style that I feel is I use equally in both boxing, kickboxing. Well, for MMA, I did adjust it a little bit. I was more of I bent my knees a little bit more. I squatted down. That was for the takedown purposes. But as far as foot placement, nothing really changed. The style is the same. Again, I've adapted. I have sort of a hybrid style for both sports that work well for me.